What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me going over a few important introns that are going to be very early on for a character's dupes that I think you guys definitely should be investing in if you are using these characters. So we're going to go through every single character, and I'm going to go over specific introns that I know are going to be really good, and we're going to talk about exactly, you know, if it's actually worth going for some of these introns. But for the most part, I would say it actually is worth it, especially if you're maining these characters. If you guys do enjoy videos like this, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as we are on the road to that 4,000 subscribers. Recently hit that 3,500 on the channel, and we've been growing a ton, guys. It's been really fun on Duet and Abyss. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's hop in. Let's talk intron dupe levels. So yeah, introns are gonna be whenever you get another 30 of the actual thought for a character, guys, you're gonna be getting a intron level. Now you can see here that there is actually up to 6 intron levels, and there's a few intron levels that actually are only going to be just giving you plus to a certain of your like one of your abilities, pretty much. So just as an example here for Lynn, you can see the level 3, and then I think the level 5 are going to be leveling up a certain, you know, ability, whether it's the ultimate or the skill, and then the other 4 spots are actually going to be kind of like extra passive effects in a sense, and you're gonna actually be able to grind up every single one. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the most important introns. So starting off with Lynn here, guys, the intron 6 obviously is really busted, and they actually patched this because originally it wasn't working supposedly. Now it's actually working in the game, and yeah, I mean, this is really good because when triggering bonus effect using Hansel and Gretel, inflict laceration on the target. So pretty much you don't have to use your skill, you just use Hansel and Gretel and you get laceration. So very broken. I mean, that right there is like obviously super broken. I do think that the intron 2 is actually a very good one early on too, guys, because it's going to reduce damage taken by 30% and decrease the interval at which gaining attack speed boosts as well. So you're going to get your attack speed kind of faster to max versus you know, when you're like in I0, you're not gonna be able to do that. This one is also fairly good too, the I1, just because you do get the preload stacks, but it's not as crazy in my opinion. So there you guys go, man. That is going to be Lynn. Now moving on to MC here, guys. MC's most important dupe in my opinion, other than the rest of them, is going to be I6, which we actually can't get yet. But I6 allows incandescence to additionally grant 54% crit chance on the effect. So yeah, I mean, obviously that sounds really good, and it is, right? Because you're getting, you know, 54% most likely multiplicative crit chance, but that's still very strong. And you know, giving that to a character along with weapon damage bonus, along with trigger probability, I mean, this character gives pretty much everything. So MC, in my opinion, really good. Other than that, I do think some of the other stuff is fairly good too. So you like using skill gated attack speed. We already only have up to I3 right now, but I don't think any of these ones are really that crazy. This one for lowering movement speed of enemies is definitely solid as well. But yeah, I mean, in general, guys, when we do get I6 of the MC, that's going to be the most important dupe in my opinion. So yeah, that is really good. Now moving on to Lady Nephil here, guys. Lady Nephil has 2 really good dupes in my opinion. You have the I1, which increases the interwoven cries effect trigger probability by 15%, and the max trigger probability to 65. It's actually no, this one's solid. It's not like, you know, really crazy. The really crazy one in my opinion is I6, where when dealing damage using a ranged weapon, though, you have a 25% chance to summon either Lunar Hunt or Solar Eclipse at the target's location, guys. You know how broken that is? That's the skill of Lady Nephil, and you spawn either Lunar Hunt or Solar Eclipse, and it's super busted. Like, that is crazy. I2 is also really good too, because it's just boosting the damage of Lunar Hunt and Solar Eclipse, you know, vice versa. So those 3 in my opinion are really good. Yeah, this one right here is not super crazy, the I4, but yeah, I2 and I would say I6 are like really good on Lady Nephil right there, guys. So yeah, there you go. Now moving on to Lizbell here, guys. Lizbell's first like intron right here is actually good because it gives you a 35% character attack increase for 15 seconds by using the, I think that's the skill right there, which is not too bad. Yeah, when damage triggers a bonus effect, gain 1 additional combo point. That's pretty good for being able to stack it up faster. When combo level increases, gain 5 additional combo points. Yep. And then at the final one, after using That's It or Samel's charge attack, gain 30% additional lumino damage. So honestly, the I1 is pretty free. You just use the skill and then you get 35% attack. I actually really do like that one. I do think the combo level 1 is going to be really good. When combo level increases, gain 5 additional points. Probably I2 and then I6, guys. Yeah, I think it's very similar to Lady Nafil. Like, these two are really, really good. This one actually is fairly solid as well for Lizbell, but overall, I probably wouldn't chase like any of the like later dudes for Lizbell specifically right now. But yeah, I mean, that is actually pretty good still regardless. Now moving on, guys, we got Truffle and Filbert. Truffle and Filbert have one of the best, I think, I2s in the entire game actually. Using a skill applies an attack boost equivalent to 3% of Truffle's max HP for her teammates with a maximum boost of 300. Okay, now that is crazy. So not only would Truffle and Filbert be giving you damage dealt and heals, but also an attack boost, pretty much based on her max HP, which is very strong. This right here, I think, is going to be really good. I don't think anything else. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I6 right here, after picking up any of these, Truffle gains 1 stack that increases your skill damage if you want to run like main DPS Truffle and Filbert, but still keeping with the like supportive effect. I do think I2 for Truffle and Filbert is going to be very strong. So if you are, you know, planning on going for this, which I mean, right now Truffle and Filbert is in the weekly boss right now for dupes, so it's going to be a little bit annoying to do that. But yeah, I mean, her I2, again, very, very strong supportive effect. Like, in my opinion, one of the best, you know, introns in the game. It is really good. You know, just a crazy attack buff. Moving on, guys, we got Rebecca here. In terms of her intron that I think is going to be the best, it's 100% I2, guys. I2 increases the maximum number of Aurelia Rita allowed on the field to 5, and the stat cap of Poison of Love to 8. So that pretty much not doubles your damage, but almost doubles your damage, right? Because then normally you have 3 Aurelia Rita, or the like the jellyfish. Now you would have 5 max, guys. I2 on Rebecca is going to be really good, and even on like, you know, certain boss stages where I say this character is not that insane, she will probably cook because you have 5 of them, right? I mean, 5 of those things starting to tick, that's when you're going to really get your damage. And just in general for farming, I mean, that's going to make Rebecca just one of the best AoE characters, and she already is really good, but like with 2 extra, you know, jellyfish right there, I think that's really strong. None of the other things are that crazy, I would say. Yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit more Poison of Love on the I1. This one right here, Rebecca gains attack. I mean, the I6 is actually good, but if I was to go for one of the dupes, guys, on Rebecca specifically, like I2 and then just stop for now, right? Like, because you just get I2 and then boom, you're like, Rebecca almost doubles in damage. Like, it's really crazy. So yeah, one of the best introns in my opinion. So definitely one that you should like actually be looking out for, at least right now in the game. Moving on, guys, we got Sabil here. In terms of her introns here, guys, just kind of looking at it here, when taking damage, Divine Conqueror and Legion's punishment, Chaotic Thunderward's damage taken ratio is increased. That one's fairly decent, you know, that allows you to be able to do more damage with it. This one right here increases the cap. I think the I2 actually is really good. Yeah, no, increasing the cap, and then for each Wind of Might of Thunder increases the damage taken transfer ratio to Thunder Orb, so the Thunder Orb will be taking a lot more damage. That's actually very good too. Yeah, when Legion's punishment deals damage, 20% to trigger effect once. That is fairly solid. And then this one right here, damage at the target 500% of the base multiplier, guaranteed to trigger the electro bonus effect. So yeah, definitely I2, because the cap increase to 600 is very good, and then the extra point of percent damage you're getting to the Chaotic Thunder Orb, guys, in my opinion, is going to be really good. So I think I2 for Sabil early on, if you're able to get that, that's honestly really good. But yeah, again, I6 too as well, really good effect, like 500% of your base multiplier, and then you trigger electro bonus effect no matter what. So that is actually very strong. All right, guys, now moving on to Beth here. Beth's I1 is very good because it increases the maximum number of tentacles. That is super broken in my opinion. So just having like, you know, the number of tentacles summoned here from 12, and the maximum number that can exist is going to be 24 now. So I mean, again, like, it's just super busted. Right here, this one's not that crazy. This one gives crit chance, again, not that crazy. This one right here, this one's actually fairly good, actually, the I6, because then they start to take more DOT. But yeah, I do think overall, guys, I1 on Beth is actually where you can stop, and then you'll be chilling. Just more tentacles to be able to get the enemies kind of locked down. I actually do think that is very good. Moving on, guys, to Margie here. I don't think Margie has any super crazy deuce, at least from my opinion. I'm kind of looking at it here. I guess, like, you know, this one right here, the Zealous Zone for the Margie's combustible bin, increasing that to 20 seconds, like, that is actually pretty good. And then yeah, you increase Margie's damage dealt, so like I6 she becomes like a main DPS, I guess you could say, but then at like I4 she does gain the extra duration on her combustible bin. So I would say, like, honestly, guys, Margie doesn't have any like crazy introns really. Like, I mean, it's honestly really just, you know, getting to I4, I6, but even then, that's for like a more DPS oriented Margie, where off the rip in her base kit, she's more of like a support just because of her combat AI. So honestly, I wouldn't really invest honestly in any of the introns here for Margie, just since it's not really benefiting, you know, the role that I use her in the game for. Alright guys, now moving on to Brenica here. Brenica's I6 is going to be insanely strong. So you can see here each attack has a chance to unleash one additional sword wave, which means you pretty much double your damage, and then the probability equals to 25% of Ymir's trigger probability, which is pretty good too, because then you would build for trigger. You do get combo level as well for your, or like attack for your combo level. That one is very good too. Like I4, I can see a lot of value in that. This one right here increases damage dealt to targets with HP lower than Brenica by 30%. That's fairly solid too, but you know, again, like this was kind of like a dependent on an HP thing. And then right here, Brenica gains 1 stack that increases skill efficiency, which is could be good as well. But I would say, guys, just looking at it, this I4 probably might be your best actually, just because you're converting your combo into her attack percent, which is actually very good. The I6 though, again, is like very strong too, because you're almost doubling your damage there whenever you trigger the Ymir effect. So yeah, I mean, I4, I6, very important dupes. Other than that though, I wouldn't say the rest are like that crazy really. So I would probably say either stop at I4 or go all the way to I6 if you're, you know, willing to do that for Brenica. Now moving on to Daphne here, guys. Daphne's first intron, in my opinion, is gonna be just her general best, because it's gonna be when using the Emerald Diffusion, if is active, self and allies gain 10% damage dealt. Now 10% damage dealt is not a lot, but that pretty much makes her act as like kind of like a bootleg Truffle and Filbert. So if you actually do want to go for her deuce in that right, you could actually get the I1. I2, not really that crazy. You do get some you know, Azoth projectile, right? It's okay. Restore 1 sanity point for each Azoth projectile consumed, not that crazy. And then when a teammate applied with the purification formula deals damage, Daphne gains 1 stack of damage dealt. So that's only if you're really using Daphne on field. So really her best dupe, in my opinion, is I1 free. That you go for I1, you get that, and then honestly you don't really need to dupe out Daphne anymore until obviously, like, you know, end game. But like, yeah, I1 Daphne, guys, is probably where I would just stop right there, honestly. All right, now moving on to Outsider, guys. In terms of his dupes right here, his first one is actually fairly good. Exiting stealth gives you weapon crit chance by 60% for 24 seconds. This one right here is when Fang or Raganus Na generates Fang Spike. There's a 50% chance to generate one additional one. That's okay. When in stealth state, increases movement speed. That's really not that crazy. And then when Relentless Hunt state, Outsider deals additional 20%. Yeah, I6 for free. All the other dupes right here are really not that crazy. I think I2 could be kind of valuable though, like getting additional Fang Spikes. So probably these two. You guys are seeing a trend. I2 and I6 really the most important dupes for the most part. And yeah, I mean, the rest of them right here, like the movement speed one for being invis is okay. You know, if you're like trying to get through stages faster, sure. And then like, yeah, I mean, the crit chance at I1, actually no, the crit chance at I1 is actually very good too. So I think if I had to pick, I'd probably go to I1, I4, or I6, depending on if you really like Outsider that much. But yeah, I'd probably say I1 is honestly fun if you are just kind of using him as a DPS and you just want to get that, you know, extra crit chance. You just exit the state, boom, 24 seconds of that buff. So that's like actually pretty good. All right, guys, now moving on to Randy's dupes. So let's go through it. The first one is just going to absorb more projectiles for the barrier. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's okay, but again, it's not like super crazy with that. Now, this one right here, each Randy's level increases his own Ultra Shield cap by 50 points. So, hey, I mean, that could be pretty good. Just getting a free Ultra Shield cap increase. And then, yeah, on the I4, target hit by the impact immediately takes damage of Overworked Grudge. That is actually fairly good too. And then at his I6, when impact hits a target, it also deals additional electro damage equal to Randy's shield. Yeah, okay. I6 for free. I6 is definitely his best. I do think that I4 could actually be fairly good, because when the target is hit, immediately take the damage of Overworked Grudge. Could actually be fairly good too. But yeah, this character, guys, you might have to do like a full invest for him. I6 though, this I6 is like really insane. Yeah, I do think that maybe I2 if you just want to be a little bit more tanky, but in general, you won't really need to worry about tanking that much. I'd say probably the I6. Yeah, I4, I6, which is crazy for Randy. Moving on to Psyche, guys. Psyche's I1 is really good. Using Chrysalis, Dreamweave, or Phototaxis restores 10% of Psyche's max HP and increases Psyche's damage by 35%. So she not only increases her own HP, even though she's gonna drain, she gets a damage like dealt buff. Like the I1 on Psyche is super busted. Now the second one right here is actually pretty good too. So Wild and Flamboyance fires 16 ethereal powder particles. Ethereal powder or the powder stigma deals damage to 35% and spawn a phantasm. So that one's pretty good too. But I think I1 free, bro. If you do get I1 for Psyche, that is very, very good. This one right here, oh, this is actually really good because this gives you hit stun now for Psyche as well. Like I4, okay, I actually really see that as valuable. and increases the auto pickup range too. Damn, man. That, okay, I4, I1, I4. Okay, I'm liking that. And then right here, during Flamboyant State, increases Psyche's pen stats by 50%. So I guess that's for just like damage percent. That is really good then. So yeah, probably though, guys, I1 for Psyche, especially since she's the main kind of character for the update. So we're not going to really be able to get dupes super easily. I do think I1 though is a great spot to stop at. I mean, like that effect right there is just crazy. But I4, I mean, yeah, grand immunity to hit stun, damage reduction, and auto pickup range. Like people will underrate that, but hit stun is super insane in this game in my opinion. So yeah, I4 really good, but I1 I think is definitely just a safe bet. Now moving on, guys, to Fantasio here. Now going through his dupes, his first one is going to be immersion gain from duos, increased by 1.5% of max sanity. That's actually really good because his scaling on his damage is based on his max sanity, so that's actually very good. When using the 3-hit Furious Claws and Mournful Howl, decreases damage taken and increases the chance of inflicting Adagio through Concerto. Okay, that's fairly solid. This one is when dealing damage with a 4th hit of Savage Claw or Plunging Attack, increases damage by 110% if the target has 10 stacks of Adagio. Okay, that is really good. And then I6, Presto grants an additional 90% morale increase when duos immersion is triggered, extends Presto's duration by 0.2 seconds. Yeah, okay, so just based on that, I think I1 is fairly good actually, guys, because that is going to in turn just automatically increase his damage because his damage scaling is through the higher the max sanity. So I actually would say for Fantasio right here is I1 or I6, honestly, good, because the I6 is crazy. So I1 or I6, I think the I4 is pretty good because you do get additional damage. But it is if you have the max stacks of Adagio, and then this one right here, you do get some damage reduction, and then the chance of afflicting Adagio through Concerto is higher. So I do think probably I1 if you're just getting Fantasio, you just want to get the one dupe, or you could go for I6 if you're really that guy for him. I mean, I6 is super busted. Again, like if you're going I6 as the full character, though, you know, it really is if you're like max investing in a character like this, but I1 is a fairly good place to stop at least at this point in the game. All right, now moving on to Hellfire here, guys. Her first one right here is going to increase the damage dealt to enemies within a 6-meter radius around Hellfire. This one's very good because her skill already does DOT around enemies, or like the enemies near her. Pretty much she has like a DOT for that, so that's actually really good. This one right here increases the HP recovery granted by retributive resolve, so that could be pretty solid too, just for her to get a lot more HP percent given to her. Now decreases the interval of dealing puncture retribution pyro damage by 1.4 seconds. That could actually be pretty good too, because that means you're going to be able to hit a lot faster. It's like the interval of the ticks you're doing with the puncture retribution is going to be higher. I actually see that as being very valuable. And then the I6, for every 5 sanity consuming skill uses by nearby allies, Hellfire automatically unleashes Cage of Despair. So that right there is going to be crazy, because you automatically auto taunt enemies, and you just like, you literally just like get off a bunch of like damage too. So yeah, again, I would actually say I1's really good just because you get the damage dealt, right? Because, you know, anyone that's around Hellfire, you will be able to give that. And then I think probably from there, guys, the I4, yeah, probably I1 and I4, but I6 again is broken because you do this like, you know, pretty much for ult every single time, you know, as long as you're like beside enemies, right? Every 5 seconds you're gonna proc that. So that is actually really good. But yeah, I would say probably I1 or I4 early on, and then I6 again if you like max invest in Hellfire. But like I1 is going to be really good because, you know, her skill already is going to have like damage dealt to enemies around her, and so you get even more. Now moving on to Yell and Oliver, guys. Yell and Oliver on this first one, if the top hopper is detonated by a different type of top hopper, restores 1 point of sanity to Yell and Oliver. If detonated by the same type, 2. That's actually fairly solid. You can get back a good amount of sanity through that. His movement speed decrease effect inflicted on enemies in the Nightmare Lab is increased to 60%. That's not too bad either. When deploying a top hopper in Nightmare Lab, there's a 45% chance to deploy another top hopper. I like that for dupe right there. I think that one's really good. And then when Yell and Oliver is applying the Bombing Frenzy, each deployed top hopper combines the features of both types, dealing higher damage and posing greater stance reduction. Yeah, I guess I6. I mean, I4 is really good because you have a 45% chance to deploy another one, which I think is really strong. So you have that, which is pretty much going to double your damage, right? And then you have this one right here, which gives you the sanity back. That's fairly good too. So I would say overall, guys, the best dupe is probably going to be, I mean, again, I6 like is super busted, but like I4 is almost going to double your damage too, because you're going to have a 45% chance to get another top hopper when you're deploying top hopper in Nightmare Lab. So that right there, I think I4, in my opinion, for Yell and Oliver is going to be his go-to. And then moving on, guys, to the final character here, we have Rhythm. Now for Rhythm's dupes right here, her first one's going to deal AoE damage within a 3-meter radius for the electric charge effect now, so that's going to be pretty good for a little bit more AoE DPS. Her second one right here, when an enemy with electric charge is defeated, their electric charge is transferred to another random target within a 20-meter radius. The transfer electric charge retains its remaining duration, allowing the effect to continue on the new target. That is actually very good. That I see a lot of value in that one for Rhythm. Now this one right here, at the start of the battle, Rhythm gains electric energy equal to 50% of her max sanity. That is really good too. And then for I-16, number of enemies electro surge deals damage to per second is increased to 2. Okay, I really see the value in all these dupes. Actually, I think every single dupe actually has its own value. AoE potential on the first dupe. This one is going to be, you know, even more AoE because you're going to be transferring the damage to other enemies. I think I2 for Rhythm, guys, is going to be your best. Actually, just transferring the electric charge to another enemy at random could be very strong, and that just allows you to start clearing out a bunch of like enemies like that. This one right here is going to be really nice for the start of the battle though, the I4, but then like, yeah, I mean I6 again, like just increasing like the number of enemies electric surge deals damage to per second is increased. Like that I think is again like super busted. But if I had to say the best one, probably I2 for Rhythm. So yeah guys, that is pretty much all the introns that I'm actually going to recommend you guys go for on Duet and Abyss. Like again, obviously if you really like the character, you want to main the character, go for I6, man, just do it. There's a bunch of different characters in this game that are really good, and again, all their dupes are going to be very strong for the most part, as they are providing fairly good bonuses. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below though of the you know, introns right there, and which character are you going to be duping introns for first. Let me know in the comment section below. But that's going to be it for the video, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out, have a good rest of your day, guys. See you there, man.